There are relationships that, no matter how long they last or how many stories are shared, simply do not do us any good. They are bonds that, instead of healing, make us sick. Instead of strengthening, they weaken. And the saddest part is that, even knowing this, we often stay stuck, dependent, attached to something that no longer has life. Have you ever been in that place? In a relationship where you feel suffocated, diminished, hurt, where the other person seems to have the power to take away your peace, your joy, your identity, and even so, you can't leave. Because there's something called emotional dependency, and it has the power to make us confuse pain with love, to make us believe we need that person just to keep existing. The mind knows this is harming me, but the heart replies, what if I never find someone else? What if this pain is worse than the bad company? And just like that, you imprison yourself. You get used to it. You become paralyzed. But then comes that moment. It could be a conversation, advice, a scream from within the soul, a moment of clarity, and you suddenly see it clearly. If the relationship is already like this during dating, imagine in a marriage. If now it's chaos, later it'll be hell. And so, you gather courage and break it off. The break is painful, because even if the relationship is toxic, there is still a bond. There's a void that was being filled, even if poorly. There's the habit, the memory, the touch, the plans. Breaking away from all of that hurts like an amputation. The first days are the worst. You cry nonstop. Everything reminds you of the person. A song, a scent, a t-shirt left in a corner of the house. It feels like the world stopped. It feels like you'll never recover. That the pain will stay there forever, hammering in your chest. But it won't. You take one step, even while crying, even with the urge to go back. You take another and another, until suddenly you realize you're feeling a bit better. Time begins to do its work. The wound starts to heal. A month later, the pain lessens. 2 months in, you can sleep without thinking of them. 3 months later, you smile again. You begin to remember who you were before all of this, who you still are. But then, the relapse, an unexpected encounter, a late night message, a moment of weakness, and you go back. You kiss, feel that familiar comfort, and for an instant think, this time will be different. But it isn't. Soon everything returns. The same control, the same emptiness, the same pain. And what was a process of rebuilding turns into ruins. Because all the ground you had gained through so much effort, you throw away with one single step backward. You go back to Egypt, back to slavery. It's like the Hebrews in the desert when Moses led them out of bondage. They were free geographically, but emotionally still enslaved. They complained about the desert, missed the onions of Egypt. They preferred the poisoned comfort of captivity to the liberating uncertainty of the journey. And the same happens to us. Sometimes we've left the prison, but the prison hasn't left us. We've ended the relationship, but still check in on their life, stalk social media, ask from afar, wait for a sign. And with that, we feed the very prison we should be letting die. Emotional dependency is like a cancerous cell. It's not enough to remove it. It needs treatment. And the treatment is hard. It involves pain, silence, distance, confrontation. It means looking discomfort in the face without running. Because healing only happens when we face it. When we stop romanticizing the past, stop fantasizing about a rescue from someone else, and begin, finally, to choose for ourselves. You know, Sometimes living through discomfort is the best thing that can happen to us, because discomfort forces us to grow, forces us to connect with parts of ourselves that had been dormant. The desert teaches, absence strengthens, and when we stop running from pain, it stops chasing us. It's like quitting smoking. The first days are awful, the craving is constant, but each day conquered is a victory over yourself, until one day the desire fades, and what remains is freedom. But if you give in, if you light that cigarette again, it's like breathing life into a monster that was asleep, and it comes back stronger because you fed it. Ending a toxic relationship is a process. It's not a clean cut, it's a crossing, one step at a time. And yes, God walks with us through it, but He won't do for us what is ours to do. He gives strength, He gives courage, He extends His hand, but you're the one who must step into the water. Remember Moses at the Red Sea? No way out. Behind him, an army. In front, the sea. And what did God say to him? Tell the people to move forward. In other words, walk, go, face it. I'll be with you, but you must take the first step. And that's how it is in our lives. The sea only parts for those who have the courage to walk. You were not made to live in emotional slavery. You were not made to beg for affection. You were made to love and be loved in a full, light, and healthy way. You were made to build, not to survive, to grow, not to crawl. Enough of going back to Egypt. Enough of missing rotten onions. Enough of romanticizing what destroys you. Love yourself. Respect your story. Choose yourself and have the courage to cross the desert, because the promised land only exists for those unafraid to walk. Even if it hurts, even if it takes time, even if it seems hard, you are not alone. God walks with you, and He doesn't let go of your hand halfway through. But you have to do your part. Take a deep breath, look ahead, and walk, because what awaits you up ahead is infinitely better than what you're leaving behind. And if right now all you need to hear is, "You're going to be okay," then hear it now, with an open heart. You're going to be okay. Not immediately, not without tears, but you will, because no one crosses the desert and remains the same. Pain is not a sign of failure. It is a sign of transformation. You are being reborn, and every rebirth demands a break. The caterpillar must leave its shell to become a butterfly. The seed must break through the earth to bloom. The clay must go into the fire to become a vessel. And you must break free to truly live. Breaking is not the end. It is the beginning of a new story, where you learn to listen to yourself, to respect yourself, to care for yourself, where you understand that true love doesn't imprison, doesn't suffocate, doesn't dim your light. True love illuminates, expands, strengthens. And if today the sky is still cloudy, trust the sun hasn't stopped shining. It's just behind the clouds, and soon you'll see the light again. In the meantime, take care of yourself. Take care of your mind, your heart, your body. Do what reconnects you with life. Surround yourself with people who lift you up. And if you need to start over from zero, then start over. Because starting over with dignity is far better than continuing with crumbs. You deserve to live a love that feels like peace, not war. That feels like home, not prison. That is a choice, not a dependency. And that love begins with you. So rise, lift your head, feel the ground beneath your feet, breathe deeply, and go, one step at a time. Because your desert may be long, but it is not eternal, and the promised land is already on your horizon.